The University of Missouri's College of Agriculture, Food and Natural Resources, or CAFNR, is a national leader in agricultural development. Through numerous programs of distinction and institutes, plus so much more, their research improves the health of people, animals, environments, and more, shaping the next generation of ag and natural resource leaders and making discoveries that impact not just our country, but the entire world. I'm Rachael Norden, and all throughout June, we're talking all things CAFNR, airing an episode a week, chatting with professionals from CAFNR on the many awesome resources and projects they've got going on, from bugs and insects to food certifications, all the way to the new meat lab here on campus. And this week, we hear from Dr. Rick Relyea, inaugural director of the Johnny Morris Institute of Fisheries, Wetlands, and Aquatic Systems at CAFNR, on his vision in workforce development and regional collaboration, as he sets the stage for this new institute here at Mizzou.
So being the inaugural director, my job is to really kick off the Johnny Morris Institute in the two major missions. So one of those missions is to grow into a regional and global research institute studying freshwater, including human impacts on freshwater. The other really is about workforce development, and that comes down to how do we train our students to be even stronger than they are in natural resources? How do we train the next generation of conservationists so that they're even more employable by all the different agencies, state, federal agencies, as well as private entities, NGOs. And that's those are the two big goals.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued and interested to unpack the workforce development right now, because I imagine there's a lot of, I hesitate to use the word changes or challenges, but it does seem like the culture is changing around conservation and land stewardship and things like that. So I would be interested to know, like, what kinds of things do you do in workforce development toward your future goals right now? What does that mean?
Yeah, great question. I'll say first, one of the things that attracted me to Missouri is there's a really huge conservation culture here. I mean, you have 1/8% sales tax that funds the Department of Conservation. So it's clear the public is really pro-conservation. There are so many partners who do different aspects of conservation working together. But our goal is to really make our students even better trained, whether they're undergraduate students, graduate students. So, for the undergraduate students, we need to get them experience in the real world more often. My goal is that they start doing internships in the first summer after their freshman year, and they do it for multiple summers after that. Right now, they have to do one internship. It'd be really nice if we could line up the number of different opportunities to get them to have real experiences 3 or 4 summers before they go into the workforce. That will make them much more employable.
Yeah.
So that's just one thing that we're working on now. Last year, before I got here, we had, I think, 4 students apply for internships. This year, 60. So we have a huge demand.
Yeah.
I also want to emphasize to everybody that, we're based at Mizzou, but this is really a regional effort. That is, we are going to work with students from all the universities around Missouri and then beyond Missouri. That's really the vision of the JMI. This isn't just a Mizzou-centered effort.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of things I could unpack, but I think first I want to ask, before we get too far from the conversation around internship, what does internship and field study look like in the world of conservation?
Yeah, well, it's such a great question because it is so diverse. So, students might work with our partner, the Missouri Department of Conservation. They might work with our other partner, the Missouri Conservation Heritage Foundation, but they also might work with USGS, the U.S. Geological Survey. They might work with Fish and Wildlife Service or the Columbia Center for Urban Agriculture. We have students there. And of course, they'll work in our labs and our research groups right here in Mizzou and all the different folks who work on water. So one of the first things I did is identify how many different faculty here work on water, and it's nearly 30 when you think about the School of Natural Resources, Department of Biological Sciences, environmental engineering, so civil and environmental engineering. there are people working on water in all different ways, and they all have students.
Mm-hmm.
They all have graduate students. They all have undergraduate students. So what I'm trying to do is bring everyone together, get to know each other, get all of us out of our academic silos and get us working together, and then get us working with these different groups outside of Mizzou, like
Yeah.
the state and federal agencies, the NGOs, et cetera.
Yeah, I can understand how getting more of that tactile experience and kind of out of the conversation and into the acting
Yeah.
makes for a world of difference.
So some students really want to be in an academic research lab. Others really want to work for a state agency. Maybe it's DNR, maybe it's MDC. Others might want to work for an NGO like Ducks Unlimited, Quail Forever, something like that. So we want to give them as many different kinds of opportunities because it's all conservation related, but the kind of work you do can be really varied. But also just having the experience, I always tell people, is as important to know what you don't want to do as what you do want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So try different things. You'll find maybe one particular experience isn't your cup of tea, but try another one, and find out what's really kind of flips your switch and makes you excited about working in conservation.
And that would take time. It would take time.
Yeah. So, I always give my daughter as an example. My daughter's at the University of Michigan, my alma mater, and she spent her first summer working, actually her first year in freshman year, working in different labs at Michigan. She spent her first summer working up in Madison, Wisconsin in another lab. She leveraged that to her second summer. She got a job in Iceland, working on lakes in Iceland. And this summer, she's headed out to California to work on the coastal part of just north of San Francisco to do aquatic research there.
That's amazing.
So part of that story is if you start students early and often, they can really do some amazing experiences, not just in Missouri, not just in the U.S., but around the world. But we have to get them started early and get them inspired and excited about it.
For sure. That's a wonderful vision to have. And so I guess it kind of bridges me, I guess, to or back to what my other question was going to be is, with all of these partnerships that you've been having or that you're starting within the region, what do those partnerships, what do those partnerships look like? And what, I guess, do all these different entities kind of serve and offer this program that you're envisioning?
Yeah, good question. So some of our partners, we have two primary partners with Mizzou, and that's the MDC and the Missouri Conservation Heritage Foundation. But we're looking to partner with lots of other folks in ways that are not such a major financial commitment. For example, we're reaching out to a number of different partners to say, do you have opportunities? And we're not even asking for your funding. Do you have opportunities that we can connect the students of the Missouri system who are interested in natural resources? We can connect them with you. We can align your opportunities with this whole body of students who want these opportunities. So how do we do that? How do we work with, say, environmental consultants, so private companies who maybe study water quality around Missouri? How do we line up? They're always looking for more students. We have great students. How do we bring those two together? Mm-hmm. So sometimes different partners will send us funding to do this. Sometimes they'll hold on to funding and do it themselves. But we're sort of the intermediary to help connect those two and give Mizzou students more opportunities.
Gotcha. So kind of acting as like this.
It can be lots of different ways. And that's the beauty of the way we can grow this is being flexible in how we do it. With different partners.
And it sounds important, especially as the conversations around conservatorship are changing, or conservation, I should say, change. Keeping all of these sort of webs together and working together is really important.
Right. So it's one of the reasons I wanted to come to Missouri. I got here about 9 months ago, and I was very convinced that partnership is such part of the culture here. Partnership among the different conservation groups. I've been in other parts of the country where it's not. So I can really appreciate how much people want to work together, and the recognition that, none of us can do this very well by ourselves.
Yeah.
We really have to work together, but I also have to help break down these walls that are pretty natural. Humans just tend to work in their silos unless, they get a nudge from someone like me to break down the silos and work together on things, and we'll get much more done together.
So where do you see with this vision in mind, this vision to break down these walls and to keep partnerships together and build these relationships with these regional partners and your internship programs? Where do you see your institute and your department in 5 years and 10 years? What are those long-term goals that you envision?
So a number of different metrics. So I've set out for the team a number of metrics for 5 years from now. That includes everything you might imagine. An increase in the amount of research that we do, an increase in the amount of grant funding that we bring into the university, but also an increase in the number of undergraduates and graduate students. Increasing their real-world experiences as much as we can. So another way we're doing that is we're starting a new freshman seminar for natural resource students and environmental science students, and that's going to bring in professionals to the campus and talk to the students about here's 10 different ways that you can be a conservationist, and let the students have an idea that it's not just one thing. It's not just a state agency or a federal agency or an academic institution, but get them exposed and get them really prepared for a career in natural resources. Start them when they first get here. Get them onto internships. Get them into research experiences early, like I talk about my own daughter. Start that early. Don't wait until senior year to go, oh my God, I have to do an internship and I haven't done one yet.
Yeah.
So any way we can get them excited, inspired, and ultimately employable, that's the goal. And we're working on a number of different ways to help them from day one when they come on campus.
Yeah, I can't imagine it would be too hard to get them inspired. Even just in this conversation, I would want to get involved. I mean,
well, I'll tell you, when you talk to lots of people, myself included, over and over, there is a point where they learned about the career and they got excited by it.
Mm-hmm.
My point was I started as an engineering student at a small community college in upstate New York, because my parents said that was the way to be successful, be an engineer. And with all due respect to engineers, I hated it. And so I then discovered that there's this major called, natural resources or fish and wildlife. And I thought, that can't be true. This is amazing. And I told my father, I said, I really dislike engineering. There's this other major that really suits my whole upbringing. And he didn't like the idea.
Oh.
And he said, you'll never make any money, you'll never be successful, et cetera. Engineering is the way to go. And I said, I'm sorry, but I really don't like that. And I do like this. And I haven't looked back. And he's been very proud since then.
Very good.
But not at first. So
sometimes you got to just show them.
You just have to let students know. There's two things you have to let them know: that this is a career. And second, and I tell this to every undergrad I meet, and I'm telling you about 95% don't know that in our world, graduate school is free. Not just free. You get paid to attend graduate school. You get a stipend. So at Missouri, it's around $25,000 or $30,000 a year. So you get paid pretty well to be a grad student with no debt. Our students don't know that. Students around the country don't know that. And it's true of science in general across the U.S. It's only because someone told me in my senior year that I ever went to grad school. I could have never done this with my parents, blue-collar income. Mm-hmm. My dad was a carpenter. Would have never been a possibility. We need to let the students know this is a career, and if you want to go to grad school, it's free. All you have to do is work hard and be passionate about what you're doing, and great things will happen to you.
That was Dr. Rick Relyea, inaugural director of the Johnny Morris Institute of Fisheries, Wetlands, and Aquatic Systems at CAFNR, on his goals and vision for the Institute as he sets the stage for what sounds like many exciting years ahead. And a nugget of wisdom for us all, grad student or otherwise, to work hard, be passionate about what you do, and rest assured that great things will happen. Make sure you catch episode 2 of this 4-part series airing next week. And if you'd like to learn more about the Institute, CAFNR, and the work that they do, visit cafnr.missouri.edu. I'm Rachael Norden, and you've been listening to Thinking Out Loud from KBIA 91.3 FM.